Joining us live tonight here on the Hill, he is the chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, a Democrat from the state of Washington. Adam Smith with us tonight. Congressman, I know you got to run for your vote. I appreciate you taking the time, so let's get right into it. You are, I believe, voting against this. Why? And how do you square sort of all the pain that's happened over the last 43 days?
Well, because the health care benefits matter, and the pain is still coming and still ongoing around health care, certainly, but other issues as well. Health care, the Affordable Care Tax credits are going away. People are going to see their health care go up. Millions are going to lose their health care insurance. There's a lot of pain in that, something the Republicans have absolutely refused to address. Second, Donald Trump and the House Republicans, they worked to inflict the maximum amount of pain on people instead of trying to help Americans. You mentioned the SNAP benefits. There's $8 billion set aside to pay SNAP benefits. Donald Trump has blocked those payments. They tried to harm the American people. The programs that Donald Trump has canceled, appropriations bills, we had to try to stand up and fight back for those things. That is pain, too. You mentioned the federal workers affected. Trump's fired hundreds of thousands of them before the shutdown happened. That's what Democrats were fighting for and what we are still going to fight for.
You are, as I mentioned, from Washington State. Your district is Boeing. It includes a big portion of Boeing, the second biggest employer in Washington State behind Amazon. And on their conference call, Congressman, they talked about the government staying shut down as a risk. And so I wonder how you square one of the biggest businesses in your backyard saying, if this is shut down, it's a risk, and again, you voting no.
Yeah, well, keep understanding something here. I do not for a second disagree that having the government shut down is problematic. I do. I wish Mike Johnson and the Republicans in Congress and the president would address the legitimate issues that we have raised. Instead, Mike Johnson dissolved the United States House of Representatives for 7 weeks. Sent us home, won't even doing our job. Those health care impacts are real. We want them addressed. The Republicans wanted our vote for their budget, and we're completely unbending and making any changes to that.
So if you want them addressed,
the
what
shutdown
happens?
Matters.
Yeah. So if you want them addressed, what happens if we get to January 30th and we're still in the same place?
Well, we got 2 months to negotiate. We'll be in a difficult spot, though, as you mentioned, this bill has 3 appropriations bills in it. I know there are plans to pass some of the other appropriations bills, so there'll be less of the government impacted. And do keep in mind, over 70% of the government is funded, even during these shutdowns. This is the discretionary portion of the budget that is in conflict, which is incredibly important. But you'll see a significant portion of the government funded by then, and I hope and will continue to push for these other issues, crucially health care, to be addressed.
You are, as I mentioned, the ranking member on the House Armed Services Committee, the top Democrat, one of the leaders, of course, within the Democratic Party. You made some news last year, Congressman, at the time when you called on President Biden to drop out of the race, right? You chair a committee, and at the time you did that. It made some headlines. I bring it up because there's now a question about Chuck Schumer's future and whether he should be the leader of Democrats in the Senate. I know you're in the House, but he's the minority leader in the Senate. Do you believe he's fit to lead, should lead, rather, Democrats in the Senate, or do you think his time is up?
Well, first, the presidential thing is entirely different. And I think Chuck Schumer certainly he's fit to lead. There's no problem with his health. There's no doubt about that.
I wasn't suggesting
he acts clearly. He's still got the energy. So that makes a big difference. And second of all, Joe Biden was going to be the guy who was going to stand up and try to beat Donald Trump. There's going to be a Democrat in charge of the Senate. So the urgency of dealing with Schumer is not the same as the urgency of dealing with the Joe Biden situation last year. That said, you know, the Senate could probably pick a stronger leader, but that's their call, not mine. I've got to work with whoever they pick. And, you know, I got no particular beef with Chuck Schumer. That's up to the Senate Democrats. Yeah, I think we need stronger leadership in general, but I'm not going to, you know, opine on something that I don't have a vote on.
I know, speaking of votes, I know you got to run because you got to vote on this one, and I do thank you for the time. Adam Smith, ranking member of the House Armed Services Committee, with us tonight. Thank you, sir. We'll talk again soon.